Mr. Harris, would you give us your full name and DOC number, please?
38, 94, 87.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris, let me explain our process to you. First, I'm going to read some information into the record. Then we're going to conduct a parole interview with you. We'll ask the warden to make a few comments, and then you'll have an opportunity to say whatever you'd like to say to the board, and then we'll vote. You understand our process?
Sure.
This is Michael L. Harris, DOC number 389487, date of birth October the 18th of 1958. He's a third felony offender. His parole eligibility date of January the 27th of 2021, an adjusted good time date of April the 2nd of 2040, and a full term date of January the 27th of 2041. He is currently serving a 40-year sentence on 2 counts of distribution of cocaine, one of which was adjudicated a habitual offender, having been sentenced on November the 13th of 2001, and 2 counts of possession of cocaine, having been sentenced on December the 18th of 2002. Mr. Harris, is that information basically correct?
Correct.
Mr. Harris, your case has been assigned to Mr. Alvin Roche. Would you please answer any questions he has? He'll begin our interview.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, Mr. Harris. How are you?
All right.
Good. Mr. Harris, you're 65 years old. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And you've been incarcerated for 23 years, so you've grown old in incarceration.
Yes, sir.
Are you tired?
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm tired.
You're tired.
Tired.
I see you had a hearing on January, one second. You had a hearing on January 6, 2021.
Yes, sir.
Is that about right?
That's right.
So it's almost 3 years. So tell me what you've been doing for the last 3 years.
I took some classes and some programs. I've gotten into some programs, mostly drug programs, what I'm charged for.
Okay, tell me about the drug program.
Like living in balance and pre-release AA and NA. And thank you for a change.
Okay, good, good. So at the time of your arrest, were you employed?
No, sir. I wouldn't employ.
Is that the reason why you were selling drugs?
The reason why I was using drugs, I was told this, it got me on distribution because the majority of the time I was running like back and forth, going to calls, stuff like that, to supply my habit.
So how long had you been using drugs?
Since I was like 18, I lost for 20 years. It took 20 years.
So you were probably 42 years old when you got arrested, and you've been using drugs since you were 18 years old. That's about right.
That's right. Right.
So you were using drugs almost, what, 24, 25 years?
Yeah.
How often did you use drugs?
I was using every day. Every day.
What did you start off with?
For weed,
And what did you graduate to?
cocaine.
Didn't take you long, did it?
Huh?
It didn't take you long to graduate to cocaine.
No, not really. Because I had like everybody, mostly everybody was in my family, like all the meals. My family, they all used.
Are you a drug addict?
Yes, sir. I'm always be a drug addict as long as I live now.
Very good. You've been incarcerated for 23 years. You've served about 58% of your sentence. Tell me, are you a trustee?
No, I'm not a trustee.
And tell me why.
Really, I didn't want to be a trustee. Really,
Okay.
I got medical problems.
Okay. What's your current job assignment?
Huh?
What is your current job assignment?
My current LDI, my current assignment.
So you're on duty status.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's your ailment?
Or I'm badly, my left leg really, I don't have that much balance in my left leg. And I can suffer from high blood pressure. You know?
And you equilibrium resolve?
Yeah, my balance is off. I mean, real off.
Do you participate in any organizations?
No, sir. No, sir. None. No.
Now, Mr. Harris, I've gone over your information and your PPI 2 or 3 times. In my opinion, you're in need of a long-term substance abuse program. You're 65 years old. I think you're tired. And I think you've taken the appropriate programs while incarcerated. You've served 58% of your sentence. Do you think that you need a long-term substance abuse program to help you to maintain your sobriety when you're released?
Yes, sir. I might have to go to AA class, meetings and all that. In my area where I'm going at, I got to keep that going because anything could trigger me. Anything out there could trigger first moves and who's been using.
And as much treatment and education as you can get would help you.
Yes, sir.
What's your transition plan?
My transition plan is I'm going to live with my daughter, help her out, do the best I could because she got 8 kids. I'm going to stay out of trouble for one thing. And one thing, I'm going to have to talk to them youngsters, but drugs. Really, I would love to talk to youngsters about drugs.
Okay, I can arrange that. Are you going to be living on SSI?
Yes, sir.
So if I would recommend that you attend a long-term substance abuse program, you would agree with me.
Yes, sir.
What, Mike? Would you like to make any comments?
Roche, you kind of stole my job. That's usually what I do. No, I agree with you 100%, sir. I think that was going to be my recommendation. I believe he's a prime candidate for Blue Walkers or a long-term substance abuse program because of the sense of history that he had. He's going to need that, and we need to make sure he's clean and he stays. I agree with you. Okay.
Thank you, Ward. And that means the world to me that you agree with me. Mr. Chairman.
We'll now hear from Mr. Meyer, Mr. Randy Meyer.
Good afternoon, Randy Meyer, Assistant DA, Jefferson Parish. Mr. Roche, I agree too. I like Mr. Harris's answers. He was the first guy today who I think answered honestly and appropriately all the questions that you asked. And I think long-term substance abuse treatment program would help him out a lot. And, you know, his suggestion about talking to youth about drugs would be a nice touch as well. So we agree with that recommendation. Thank
you, Mr. Meyer. Mr. Harris, is there anything you'd like to say to the board before we vote?
No, sir. That's all. Whatever you decide, you got to agree with.
Mr. Roche, you ready to vote?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. My recommendation is that Mr. Harris be granted his early release upon completion of the 9 months Steve Hall Intensive Substance Abuse Program. After release, he is to follow all recommendations of the Steve Hall Intensive Substance Abuse Program. He is to attend at least 3 NAAA meetings a week. He should have a curfew from 8 p.m. is 7 a.m. You're 65 years old. You don't need to be out in the street after 8 o'clock.
But yeah,
Okay? And I also want him to have random drug screens. And I want him to do community service at the rate of 3 hours a month with at-risk youth. Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Roche. Mr. Freeman?
Okay, my vote today is to grant with the same conditions of the curfews and stuff. I'm not required that you go to substance abuse. I think, you know, that would be something that you need to decide on your own, because I think really you've done everything you need to do while you've been in prison. So my vote's to grant.
Mr. Harris, I agree with both of my colleagues. However, I do believe that the Steve Hall program would benefit you. Something that I think you would need. My vote likewise would be to grant, conditioned upon your completing the Steve Hall program. So your parole has been granted, conditioned upon your completing the Steve Hall program with the following special conditions. That you follow all recommendations of the Steve Hall program, that you do at least 3 AA meetings per week, that you have a curfew from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m., random drug screens, and 5 hours of community service work with at-risk youth 6 months after he's out.
No.
Right away? Right away. Okay. Good luck to you, Mr. Harris.
thank you.